Hello everyone and welcome back. In this video we are finishing the Aria sweater. We're working the sleeve and neckline ribbing, and then we are done. Let's get started. Okay, so as I said, here I have in the corners I have two cables, so one from the sleeve and one from the body section, but this cannot be, so I cannot work a cable above the cable of the body. So here on the underarm chains the pattern will be offset. So where I have a cable, it will be a set of 3 double crochet stitches, and this is because my sleeve in the corner, my first section of the sleeve, of the actual sleeve, is a cable. So when you're deciding where should I start my my round, where should I rejoin the yarn, I do have to count from the pattern, the last pattern that I have on the sleeve, to count. Okay, now the first 3 are double crochet, then a cable, and then again 3 double crochet, and I will have to rejoin the yarn where I have 3 double crochet stitches, and I will shift the beginning of the round a little bit to be closer to the middle of the armpit chain. I hope that this makes sense. I tried to write this down at the beginning of this video to make it easier for you. So I will rejoin the yarn where I know that a set of 3 double crochet will lay, and then I will begin to single crochet across the armpit stitches. This first round of the sleeve will be on the wrong side and will be in single crochet stitches, and at the corner where is the join between the armpit chain and the sleeve, I will work into the last stitch of the armpit chain, 2 single crochet together with the last stitch and a side row that I have, and then again I will go into the side row and into the first stitch of the sleeve. This will help to not add stitches, because if we are working into the side row we will add stitches, and also to avoid having a gap if I'm skipping that space over there. And we will be doing the same into the second corner. So I went into the last stitch of the sleeve and the actual stitch of the body, and then into the side row and into the next stitch of my armpit chain, and then I continue to single crochet on the armpit stitches to the end of the round. Okay, and then we will slip stitch into the first single crochet, chain 2 and turn. Now I rejoin the yarn again. I'm counting the stitches to see how many stitches will I have on top of the armpit chain stitches. We will simply double crochet, so we won't have any pattern or cable pattern yet. And when we are starting with the actual sleeve stitches, there we will follow the pattern that we have. So where we have cable, we will work a cable. Where we have 3 double crochet, we will work 3 double crochet. Okay, so here's where my sleeve is starting. So I have 3 double crochet to work. And now I'm starting to work the cable stitch pattern. And we will work around, and again on the other corner the actual sleeve stitches will end up with a cable, and we will work around. And again, so here I'm finishing with the cable, and then I will pass into the armpit stitches, and I will work only double crochet stitches on the armpit chain. And this is because I cannot work into the cable stitch pattern of the body. Is not matching with the sleeves, so that's why I started to build on top of the armpit chain stitches, as it will be only the chain. And after finishing this round, we will close the round with a slip stitch into the first double crochet, and then we will work the single crochet round, because that one will be only in single crochet stitches also. And then we will start on the armpit chains to work our cables. Okay, let's just slip stitch and chain 1 and turn, and now we will work the single crochet round. Okay, now we are about to start with our cable stitches on top of the armpit chain stitches. If you are not sure where to start, or if you're not sure, you want to check again where did you join the yarn, you can count from the first cable of the actual sleeve and allocate 3 stitches, 3 double crochet, 3 stitches cable, and this is how, and you're counting until you're getting where your yarn is, and this is how you will be able to work your stitches. Now what I did here, let me show you one more time. So I started with the 1 decrease. So if you want to topper the sleeves, this is how I did it. So the first set of 3 double crochet in the middle, in between the first and the last cable, I will work them together, and this is how I'm getting from 3 stitches to just 1. And this is how I made the first decrease. If you want to work your sleeves straight, then you can skip this and just simply follow the pattern from start to end until you finish the length of the sleeve. If you want to decrease along the length of the sleeve, then this will be the first one, and then I will let this stitch forever and ever like this. Now after that decrease, again I'm following cable, 3 double crochet, cable, and making sure that I'm matching with the first with the stitch pattern of the actual sleeve. I hope that it will make sense for you. So again, if you're not sure how to work those stitches, count from the first cable of the actual sleeve, going back to the beginning of the row, allocating 3 stitches for the 3 double crochet set, 3 stitches for the cable, and this is how you're finding out how or where to place the cable. or the first cable, because then you simply go around. Now I reached the first cable of the actual sleeve stitches, and now everything becomes easily, because I'm keep following 3 stitches for the cable, 3 stitches for the double crochet set. So let's just continue and following the pattern around. Remember that on the other end of the sleeve, the actual sleeve will finish with a cable. So the first 3 stitches on the armpit will be a set of 3 double crochet. So I finished the last cable of the actual 3 stitches. I'm counting on the back again, 3 stitches to have behind the cable. And this is how I know where should I place the next double crochet stitch. And then I will go and okay, so 1 2 3, going and finish the next cable. It's a little bit confusing. If you want to continue make the decreases, then follow along, because this is how I will work the sleeve. And every decrease, I made every decrease at every 5th round, counting only the right side rounds. And because I didn't want it to decrease into the actual cable, we will make the decreases into the 3 double crochet stitches that are between the cables. So now this was the first round with decreases. Then I will work the single crochet round, and then I will repeat 4 more times, alternating between the cable round and the single crochet round. And after I have 5 rounds, counting only the right side rounds, I will start decreasing again. So this was my first decrease, and I will show you on the other sleeve how it's looking. So I only started to decrease into the 2 sets of 3 double crochet that are on one side and on the other of the beginning of the row. The beginning of the row, I let it with the 1 stitch, the 1 double crochet, the one that left after the first increase. And then I just started to decrease every 5th row on those 2 sets of 3 double crochet stitches. So now let's get there. I will work the next rounds, the next 4 rounds, and then we will meet again to decrease again. Okay, I finished the 5 rows since I made the first decrease. This is how I'm counting. And now I will make the next decrease into the next set of 3 double crochet. So this in the middle I'm letting like this, so I will have 1 decrease here next to this cable, and 1 decrease here next to the first cable in the round. So I will start the same with the double crochet stitch. Then the cable. And then right after the first cable, I will work 2 double crochet together. And here, instead of 3 stitches, I will have now 2. Then I will work the second double crochet, and then I will continue with the pattern until the last set of 3 double crochet stitches before the last cable, where I will perform a decrease again. Okay, so here I want to make the decrease right next to the last cable. So I'm working the first double crochet and then the last two I will work them together. And now the last cable and join into the first double crochet. So this was the second decrease. Now counting this one also, I will work 5 rounds without making any decrease, and then I will decrease again. Here where I have 2 stitches, I will be able to decrease one more until I have 1 stitch, and then also one more when I will work cable next to cable. So this is how our decreases will be. I will decrease until I will have cable next to cable, and if you still need some more stitches to decrease, then you can go further and move to the next set of 3 double crochet stitches. Okay, so here we are again. I finished the second set, so I have 1 2 3 4 5, and then I decreased again over here, so I have 1 2 3 4 5 with only 1 stitch. And now I will show you how to make the decrease and working cable next to cable. I thought that maybe you will need some help over here to make sure that you are doing it right. It's actually the same thing as we did at the beginning of this sweater, because at the beginning on the short rows we were working cable next to cable, and this is what we will be doing now. Okay, so after I finish the next cable, now here if you're going right straight to work the second cable, maybe it will be a little bit of a gap in between the 2 cables. So that is why you can work with that middle stitch to work it together with the first stitch of the cable. In this way you will have a hidden stitch in behind the 2 cables that will make it less holy. Yeah, so that stitch won't count, but it will be there not to create a hole in between the cables. Starting with the next round, it won't be necessary to do the same, because while you're working the rounds, those cables will be closer to each other. Now this was the last decrease that I did for my sleeve width, but again, if you want to decrease more, then go into the next or the first or the closest 3 double crochet set and begin decreasing there as well. Now for the length of the sleeve, you will work as many rounds as you wish until you reach the desired length. For reference, I just work 32 rounds, counting only the right side rounds, and then I finished with the single crochet round and of course adding the ribbing. After you finish the length of the sleeve, we have now the single crochet round. If you want and if you prefer, you can make the single crochet round, the last one, you can make it on the right side. In this way, maybe you don't like how it's looking when worked on the wrong side. This is how it's looking, but because I already worked the bottom hem and the other sleeve, I had to do it. So I will work the single crochet round, and you can make a few decreases if you want around along this round, like I'm doing here. So I worked 4 stitches and then a decrease, then 1, 2, 3, and another 3, and then 4, and then another decrease. But if you want, you can decrease more, or maybe you don't need to decrease these stitches. I just wanted the cuff to be a little bit narrower than the edge of the sleeve, so that is why I was making those decreases. So 4 stitches, 1 decrease, as many times and it was possible in the number of stitches. Now for the cuff ribbing, I will work the elastic, but I will switch to a 3.5 millimeter crochet hook. The bottom hem ribbing, I was working on it with the same 4 millimeter crochet hook because I didn't want it to make it smaller. So we will begin with the chain 3 and then double crochet all around. Is the same pattern as we used, and I showed you actually for the bottom hem of the sweater. I was showing you also the sleeve ribbing because I forgot to film the bottom hem ribbing. So we will work first round in double crochet, and starting with the round 2, we will alternate between front post double crochet and back post double crochet, and you will work as many rows as many rounds as you wish until you reach the desired width of your ribbing. Okay, I think I worked 5 rows in total, and then I will simply cut the yarn and I am done with the sleeves. And now we will immediately move to the neckline because I already have it here, but I didn't show it to you how you can make this this neckline ribbing. So let's go and make that one as well. So I am at the beginning of the sweater right now, even though we already worked the entire sweater, but because I was super curious on how the neckline will look like, I just wanted to make it right away. So as soon as I finished one skein of yarn, I started to work on the neckline ribbing. Now we will rejoin the yarn on the right side. I'm using a smaller hook. And I'm trying to go into the first stitch of the back panel, and I don't know exactly where it is, but it doesn't really matter if you're going right into the first stitch or not, but I do prefer to hide it as possible the beginning of the round. And now for this particular sample, I was working a first round in single crochet stitches, but I think it's not necessarily. I think you can go right with the first double crochet stitches that you need to build the front post, back post, double crochet stitches on the ribbing. But I wasn't sure how the edge will look, especially on the side rows of the short rows. So that is why I just wanted to make sure that I will make it as neater as possible, and I worked the first round in single crochet stitches. So we will single crochet into the stitches of the back panel now. And we will work around this first round in single crochet stitches, but on the side rows of the short rows we will have to work into the side rows, and we have basically a double crochet side row and a single crochet side row. This is the side stitch that we have over there. So I try to keep a symmetrical pattern on both sides. So I was working 2 single crochet into the double crochet side row and 1 single crochet into the single crochet side row. But if you feel that your tension is not your single crochet stitches are not that neat and symmetrical one to each other, then of course that you can adjust the distance or how many stitches you are placing in those side rows. Just make sure that the stitches are looking nice and evenly distributed, so the edge will look really nice and neat. But as a reference, you can have this reference to work 2 single crochet into the double crochet side row and 1 single crochet into the single crochet side row. And we will finish with this round in single crochet, and then we will start to build our neckline ribbing. At the end of the single crochet row, we will slip stitch into the first single crochet, and then we will chain 3. This will count as the first double crochet, and into the second stitch we can already start to build the front post, back post, the double crochet stitches, and we will work this around the single crochet stitches, not to create one more round in double crochet. But if you want, you can switch the single crochet row with double crochet row if you feel that you will work easier this front post, back post, single crochet, double crochet stitches. And the same as we did for the bottom hem and the cuffs of the sweater, we will alternate between 1 front post double crochet and 1 back post double crochet. This time I didn't work so many rows for the neckline ribbing because I didn't want it to make it too wide, because my neckline was already not that big. But maybe for bigger sizes you would like to have it a little bit wider, because you will have enough room to work a thicker ribbing. Another note for the bigger sizes, because the neckline is growing with the bigger sizes in this particular pattern. If you want, on that first round you can make a few decreases to make sure that your ribbing is nice and close to your neck, or as you prefer, the fit that you prefer. Now I will repeat this round a couple of more times. I think I worked 4 rounds in total, so I didn't work so many. And then basically the sweater will be ready. Now it's looking like it's only the beginning, but yeah, you know that we worked already the entire sweater, and this was the last section that we have to make it. So now after finishing the neckline, you know what you have to do. You have to weave in the ends and then to block the sweater to the measurements. The stitch pattern is pretty stretchy. Depending on the yarn, maybe your sweater will grow a little bit. So make sure that you're keeping those desired measurements that you were thinking of at the beginning of the sweater. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and see you next time. Bye!